Say this in Hausa, and I sort of said, look, I'm not in a position, I've forgotten how to do this many years. So would you...
Undebayi, una see this Ogbumadu. Want me to say this in Hausa? Make na yega again. They want me to say this in Hausa. I'm tired of all these ones. You never say anything. You open your mouth, talk, say you buy 5 million Indibos to keep Nigeria as one. You go see.
They want me to sort of say this in Hausa, and I sort of said, look, I'm not in a position, I've forgotten how to do this many years.
Alliance of Biafra and Amazonia. For my fellow Biafrans all over the world listening, those journalists who may be seated here today listening, I want to remind our people the blockade of Biafra. The blockade of Biafra, just like Dr. Cho has submitted the borders of Biafra is between these in the coastal part of Biafra. The blockade of Biafra, Cameroon and Nigeria used the Amazonia border. And so our people must understand that having studied the mistake of the Biafran people in the past, having studied how Nigeria were able, with their counterpart, the Britain, were able to starve our people to death, especially our children, during the genocidal war, it is of utmost importance that Biafra of today block every loopholes. What we see as the mistake of our past heroes shall and can never ever repeat itself again. And I will assure Biafra people today, Alliance of the Biafra Amazonia has addressed the issue of blockade. It can never ever happen again. That is number one. Number two, looking at, I will not go into addressing what Cho have said because he has actually virtually touched the main issues on that report. But what the Biafran people and Amazonia must understand as well is that the war against Biafra is Nigeria, and the war against Amazonian people must be fought.
Okay, there is a break in transmission. Wait for the Prime Minister to return, please. We are here gathered with the Prime Minister of the Indigenous People of Biafra and the President of the Amazonia Council. The two nations are here to deliberate on issues bordering the interests of the Amazonian people. Stay tuned as the Prime Minister returns to the microphone. We understand that the connection may be kind of hectic and a lot of people are trying to hook up. So there might be some discrepancies coming in from the connecting angle. Do bear with us as we keep the space on in return of the Prime Minister.
please. Sorry for that.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You were muted. In case you have said something that we didn't get to, you may rephrase from where you stopped, please.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, the war that Nigeria, Islamic State, and that of Cameroon has brought on both nations is not a war that should be ignored. It's a war that must be fought with this alliance. And like they actually captured in the report, and quote, both nations looking for a safe haven. But where they got it wrong was that this safe haven is capable of destabilizing the region. That is a very wrong narrative from the ICG. They should have ought to know who is destabilizing this region. Is it the Biafra government? Is it the Ambazonia governing council? The answer is no. Our alliances will rather safeguard our people, give us the leverage to use both territory for the best interest of our people and our nation. And at the same time, to defend our women and our children, sharing intelligence, including on security. And that is actually what could bring a solution to already destabilized region. The region is already destabilized. And as a result of the destabilization of this region, that gave birth to the agitation for independence of Ambazonia. The same destabilization, killings, genocide led to the agitation for the independent state of Biafra. So how could it be that those fighting for survival, fighting for self-preservation, will become those that will destabilize the region? That is a narrative that must be corrected. At the same time, I am not actually bothered by what anybody writes these days, because we know most of these organizations who fund them, no matter how they pretend to be neutral. We also know whom interests they always write to protect, no matter how neutral they claim to be. In a country where the military, who ought to be protecting the territorial integrity of such country, if it actually exists, are the one killing children, killing women, just what Hamas did to Israel. And somebody will wake up, pick up a pen, do a research, and his or her finding is that the alliances will further destabilize the region. And so, I will use this opportunity to address the fact that the Biafra alliance will not and will never destabilize the region. Rather, the alliance of Biafra and Ambazonia will only be the solution for the already destabilized region, which is being funded by the Islamic State. And we have been able to find the solution to the problem. And we are applying it. The policies and the measures we are taking today has proven that indeed the hope of the millions of the Amazonians and millions of Biafrans lies on our both government. And there is something I would like to tell to Biafran people today, and those who care to know. For those asking us to take a model from other freedom fighters or from those who have succeeded in the past. I have this to tell them today. I may not have said this anywhere. We are not taking any model from anybody. We are not taking any model from Mandela. We are not taking any model from Gandhi. We are not taking any model from Martin Luther King Jr. We are not taking any model from anybody. The reason being that we will solve our own problem in our own way. Gandhi solved the India problem in Indian way. Mandela solved the South African problem, apartheid problem, in their own way. Martin Luther in America also followed what he believed would work for them in America. That does not mean it is going to work for Amazonia. That does not mean it is going to work for Biafra. And you do not expect me to go on hunger strike like Gandhi did in order to register my grievances and disapproval of the killings by the Nigerian state. Nigeria will be happy that I'm on hunger strike. They think that they may even pray that the hunger will kill me so that they will be able to overrun our people. Is that the kind of Gandhi, is that the kind of a system somebody would like me to take, to go on hunger strike? Nigeria will be celebrating. We are designing and following our own history, the history that we believe that we are creating for the freedom of our people. What is going to work for us, not those that other people have used and they work for them. Nigeria is a complex entity, a complex Islamic state that needed a complex solution. And that's why most of the actions we are taking today, a lot of people can never understand it. But the result is what is speaking for itself. The report from the ICG, as we commend them for bringing the alliance of Biafra and Amazonia to the international level, we also will not be so cheap to accept everything that was written there. And I am even surprised that this particular statement is coming from them so fast, so quick, because we've not even implemented the Biafra and Amazonia alliances, the policies to the fullest. Because by the time that implementation starts coming in, believe me, Cameroon will understand that this is not business as usual. Nigeria will also understand that this is not 1967 and 1970. The Amazonia and Biafra alliance has come to stay for only one thing and nothing else: the interests, best interests of both nations, for the survival of the Amazonia people, for the survival of the Biafra people. We have been able to seal the borders to make sure that any time Cameroon comes to kill, they will be eliminated. Anytime Nigeria comes to kill, they will also be decimated. That is what all this alliance is all about. Making sure our women and children are not getting killed like chicken in the past, like they killed them in the past. And nobody talks. Making sure that we create the enabling environment to have supplies of arms sharing of intelligence, making sure that we provide the necessary environment for the armies that are fighting the enemy of our people. So my fellow Biafran and Amazonian, you must understand that this is the beginning of history. It may sound like a joke to many, but believe me, the history is what we have to create by ourselves. It is what we create that the people will talk about. It is how we create our own history, our own freedom is the way the world will see us. We will not allow anybody to write our history, write what we intend, our intention of becoming alliance nation, recognizing each other, what the intention is and what the intention would be. We have to dictate how the enemies will talk about us, not them writing our history and our story. So as I am applauding the ICG for recognizing the fact that Ambazonia Biafra Alliance is not to be taken as a joke, at the same time, I am faulting them for misrepresenting the intention of the alliance. The intention of the alliance is to safeguard both territory, to make sure that our women and children are safe and are not living in IDP camps as being orchestrated by both terrorist countries. And that particular reason and agenda leading to this alliance has been achieved to a certain degree. Like I have said in the past, and I have mentioned here today, we have devised a means to fight the both nations independent in our own way. That is very, very peculiar. That can never be the same with what any other nation have done. They will write our own history, what we asked them and what we did, not what other people did. Nigeria as an Islamic state has committed crimes against humanity in Biafra land, and nobody has condemned them. The same thing is happening in Ambazonia. Nobody has condemned them. In the first place, the ICG should have focused on calling on the AU to call Yaoundé to order and Abuja to order to stop killing Biafrans and Yaoundé to stop killing Amazonians. That should have been more understandable if the ICG focused this particular analysis from this contest. We are the victims, and we remain the victim. The ICG should have called on African Union to call Cameroon to order. The ICG should have called Nigeria, Islamic State of Nigeria, to call the AU, to call the Islamic State of Nigeria to order. Not to discuss about the Biafra and Ambazonia alliance. And let me tell you, they will fail. Because where they think that we are stopping is when we are starting. This alliance will make sure that we ruthlessly protect our land, protect our women and our children and our properties. And anybody who crosses our land will die. Enough is enough. I don't know if Dr. Cho is back, but remember that the Biafra next convention is coming up this year, and Amazonia and Biafra will again shock the world on our next phase in Finland. Dr. Cho, I cannot see you again. I think network is really disturbing this space. You can see a lot of people are going out.
The network is terrible.
At the same time.
Network is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know whether it is on purpose. We have over almost 2,000 people here, and they are kicking them and bringing them back. I have lost Dr. Cho, and so I think we wait for him to come back. If he does, please, can you bring him if he's back?
I'm looking for him, sir. I'm looking for him, and I'm waiting for him.
Today we have seen that the leader of Hamas is in Nigeria. It is not a rocket science. I have said it severally that Nigeria will be the biggest threat to the West. Nigeria will be the biggest threat to America. And like we have said in the past, what these terrorists are looking for is a safe haven in Nigeria where they will use our natural resources to start attacking the West. This should be the issue that should bother everybody. How to stop Nigeria becoming a threat in the next 5 years. It is only Biafra that will make it possible. It is only Amazonia that will make it possible. These two nations will emerge in West Africa to put a stop to the upsurge of terrorists. As Africa stands today, especially in the West Africa, it is only Amazonia and Biafra that will be able to checkmate this upsurge of terrorist activities within the Sahel region. So the world needs Amazonia and Biafra like never before, like no other nation. And Dr. Cho have just informed me that he is having problem signing into the space, and that is very strange. He has just informed me that the page is telling him that the page cannot be found. That is very, very strange. I will have to send the link again to him to see if he's going to come back. And as we wait for Dr. Cho, I will have the opportunity, and some of you will be privileged to ask a few questions before I leave.
If the Biafra Republic government in exile no take all this step to make sure say we comot for this Islamic state and free other indigenous country, that country go turn to real Islamic state, and na there they go come dey train jihadists, the export raw all the rest part of the world. Una remember how Yemen be today? Yemen na the headquarters of training terrorists in Middle East. Nigeria go be the same for Africa. So now why we have to stand against this oppression, this Islamic state. For this matter, me I go rest my case. Thank you.